Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Sean. I'm going to teach you guys today how to set up a WordPress site like a pro. And not only that, I'm going to show you how to set it up for free on completely 100% free hosting. It does have limits because it's free, but it is 100% free. And with the free domain, which it's actually a subdomain to the place we're going to set it up on. But I'm doing this for a class project, but I'm also going to put this up on YouTube. So if anybody finds this on YouTube and you want to know how to build a WordPress site like a professional would build it for you, then this is the video you're going to watch. It's really simple. It's really easy. Now, when we set it up on this platform, they're only going to give us like 12 different themes to choose from, so don't worry about that. The theme that you pick out is not a big deal. Just pick the first one you see, because we're actually going to upload a new theme as soon as WordPress is installed. This is because WordPress themes, the paid ones, the ones that I'm actually going to stick in the theme and I'm going to give you guys, it's probably, I think I paid 600 bucks for it. So it's an expensive theme, but it's used on a professional level for e-commerce sites. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. I would like for my classmates that are seeing this video, the reason I'm trying to send it out so you guys can get it early and set it up. Bring your computers to class so we can go through it, and not only will, if you have it on your computers, I'll go through it again. We'll show everybody how to set it up, but I want to spend the time during class to show you guys what we're actually going to do. And I'm actually going to record that video too, so it can be a follow-up to here, and you guys can see some of the intricate details and some of the things that normal people don't really know to do with these WordPress sites to set them up like a professional. So you have a full-out, full-blown, optimized website for your business, and you can do it for completely free. So let's get into it. First of all, what we want to do is go to wordspace.com. Wordspace.com is a free hosting. They actually have different hosting packages you can buy. I use the free hosting, and if you use different emails, you can use different hosting. I use it for a lot of testing. When I build applications, I do a lot of Angular developing and stuff, and a lot of PHP and JavaScript. I like programming that stuff, and having these free host accounts is a good way to learn and test things out. But it's good too for your business. Now, if you don't have your own domain name, they're going to give you one here for free, but it's a subdomain. That means you got to put whatever you want to call it, plus their name, wordspace.com or one of their other affiliates, and you'll see in a minute. I've already got an account set up, but go ahead and go to WordSpace, and you'll log in and create a free account, and they're going to send you an email. Verify your email first before you can do anything, and then we'll get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and then I'm going to show you guys how to set up WordPress for free, absolutely 100% free. So this pops up. For some reason you put your password in here. I want you to change it. You can just click close on that because I don't want to change it. But this is their back end. This is their cPanel. This isn't what a typical cPanel looks like. This is actually what a cPanel looks like on any other paid hosting. I use Bluehost and I recommend them, and I have links on my website, Frontside SEO, to get hosting for like $2 a month from these guys, and it's some of the best hosting in the world. This is real hosting, but like I said, we are over here, and this right here is a WordSpace's back end. Now, what you're going to want to do is we're wanting to find the Zacky installer, not the Zacky builder. This is the Zacky website builder. This is their own version of a builder. So we don't want that. We want this Zacky installer. Make sure you click the Zacky installer. So you click the Zacky installer. Alright, and then it gives you these options here to go through WordPress. So go ahead and select WordPress, okay? And it'll be 4.9.2. This is the most updated version there is. Go ahead and double click that and it'll load it up. These are all extensions. Honestly, don't click any of them. Some of these are outdated, and the tools that we're going to be loading in the next video and what we're going to be doing in class, do this, and they're way better. So don't waste your time. It's just going to take longer for it to install if you click them. So just click the next button over here. Now this is where I want you to set up your domain name. So what you're going to want to do is, if you have a domain, it'll let you just like select one, or you can type one in if you have one. You can register a new domain, and let's see, awesome program 2018. Let me see if that one's available. But this option right here is going to want you to pay for it. See, $17.95 a year. So do the free one if you're wanting to set it up for free. Either way, even if you run a business and you get a subdomain, I mean, it's all about your content and getting found. So as long as you'll see in our next video where we're talking about, if you have an optimized site and it's optimized correctly, then you can be found despite what your URL or your domain name is. So I'm just going to put student COP class 2018, and it's available. So student 2018, you guys can name yours whatever you want, okay? And after that, just scroll down, and you're gonna have to put in your website title. So whatever you want the website title to be. We haven't talked about this in class, so go ahead and just set it up, because this can always be changed. Just title, whatever. I'm gonna put, awesome programmer 2018 for mine. Then I put in my email address again. This email address and stuff, this is for the WordPress database. This is the admin user, like a root user. So make sure you put in a verifiable email. You can make your username whatever you want. Put mine as Sean, and I do have my caps on. Sorry about that, but and then just type in a password. Now WordPress typically is really dire on making passwords over 12 characters long. So setting up a normal WordPress site with real hosting, like I showed you, you're going to have to put in a longer password with different characters in it. That's just the way they want you to do it. But after you get that done, you just click next. So I've already got one installed, so I'm not going to click this next button, and I'm going to show you what the install is. But go ahead and click next, and it takes about 5 minutes for it to set up. Alright, you should probably have it set up by now. So get to my installer. So after you get set up, you'll get a link to go to it. There's 2 links. Go to the second link. They're blue links, and then click on them, and then you'll come here to this. The site I set up before was student1cop2018.onlinewebshop.net, and I /ed it to one of my actual domains. So it's a subdomain I set up on my real hosting, but nonetheless, this whole complicated thing is my web address up here. If you wanted to find this WordPress site, but for the whole purpose of setting up a WordPress site, this is perfect. So this is what we're going to talk about. Now, over here is your dashboard, and there's a framework that most of you probably never heard of, and many of you might have. It's called Redux. Redux is the framework that WordPress is built off of. It's a JavaScript framework that's tied in to PHP and MySQL backend databases. So, but this is your basic WordPress installation. So let's go through it real quick. Your home section is where we're at right now. Just kind of gives you a glance of all the different widgets. Your post. This is really important. This is where you make your post articles and your categories, and you can make tags, which are your keywords to be found in the search engines. Your media. This is where you load up images, videos, PDFs, any type of media. Pages. This is so you can make pages. This is what is called a post type, because WordPress originally is a blogging framework. but now it's a website framework. So everything is made as a post. It's just relabeled as a page, and they call it a post type. And everything that you see in this menu is a subset of what is called a post type. It's basically the gears, the framework of the programming that is a post, but they recode it to have different functions. But you'll see by using a lot of these things, the format is pretty much the same. It's like they've taken this basic post and they've added to it, or made it look different. But everything is a post. It's just they reprogram it to act as a function for what you see it labeled as. Your comment section, this is where you can check the comments from the people on your post. The appearance, this is what we'll get into here in a minute. This is where you design a WordPress site. This is where you choose your theme. This is where you customize it. They have an open editor customizer, which has some detail that you have to fill out here, whether you're front coding it or not. This widget area is your front page widget area. This is where you have sections of blocks to design your website. So this is where you'd put the code at, and trust me, I've used this thing right here to build the front end of a page. It takes me about a month, and it's pure code. You're using JavaScript and HTML, and you got to hand code everything. And they got some widgets where you can like put images and put some other cool stuff that's pre-built, but the more stuff you add to these WordPress sites, the slower they get, and then you get penalized with Google for having a slow site. So we try to avoid that. Plugins, this is what I was just talking about, adding things. They got all kinds of different plugins that do just about everything you can imagine for a website. This is where you go to install them and add new ones. Users, this is set up too, so you can have users to help you with your blog post, or if you want to build like a type of social media network. They got plugins you can add on and make this into a social media network. Your tools, this is an important section. This is where the tools you need to optimize your site is at. And then your settings, these are all the settings for your setting up your website that we'll go through. So let's go through here first. Let's go through the general section. And this is what I'm going to go over in class too. This is where your site title is, your tagline. Now, when it comes to search engine optimization, this site title is the most important thing. If you have keywords related to what your site is that you want to be found, the pages you want to come up when people search them, this is where you put that, and you have to craft that title very well in order to show up in the search engine. This is your URL. This is the email address. That's the admin. This you can allow anyone to register. I just leave this off because a lot of people will find these new sites and come spam them and register your site and just start blogging and putting stuff you don't want on there. This is just your dating section. I usually change it to numerical, this last option, and then you save your changes. You're going to notice you have publish and save change buttons on everything. Your writing, let's go ahead and go to that tab. This is your post categories. You don't have any yet, so we'll just leave that as it is. Your post format, you got different ones like chats, galleries, link formats, images, quotes, status, videos, audios. That's the type of format for your post. You leave that to standard if you're just going to be making regular web pages. This is if you got a mail server like with Outlook or something, and you need a login name and a password for WordPress, because besides setting it up through that free host at a WordSpace here, WordPress, you still got to register the WordPress site with WordPress. But we'll do that in class, or you can figure out how to do that later. You don't need to do that while you're building a website, but you should register for it. The reading section, this is an important section here. You want to make sure this is at your latest post, because this puts a post into the front end of the site, which I'll show you here in a minute. If you press a static page, then you get to select whatever page it is you built. Like if you built a page over here and you built a page, then you can assign what the home page is based off of this. Or you have a section that you can use the widgets like I was telling you about right here, build a front page, and then at the bottom under everything you built, the latest post will come out. And then you got some parameters for everything here for your blog posts, your syndication feeds. Because you also have an RSS feed. That's a feed that people can tie into. That's how you send emails out every time you create a new post, building email list and all that other stuff. The permalinks, the discussions, this is just all the discussions, a log of everybody who's talked on there. Media is the same thing, it's just parameters for medias. WP Super Cache is a browser catching tool, so that way it stores your WordPress site in people's browsers. It times it out so that way it stays in their cache as a cookie. They have time limits on these things before they die out, so the longer you have your cache set for, the longer it stays in people's browser, which means the faster your website shows up for people. And then that SMTP, that's like a downloading function, and then your sitemap. So don't worry about none of this stuff. But permalinks, yeah, you definitely want to worry about this. Now, this is always set to this day and name. Go down here and put custom structure, because what this is going to do is whenever you create a page, it's going to put this stuff in it. So it's going to put the year, the month, the date, and then the post name. You don't want the year, month, and date. You don't want all these numbers in there at all. So see where this line is? Go ahead and get rid of all that and delete that line. You just want the percentage, post name, percentage. And go ahead and delete that too. And we'll save that. And other than that, that's good. Just save that. That way when you create a page, the name of the page is actually there, not a bunch of numbers or word characters in front of it. So alright, we got that set up. Plus, without that custom structure being set, you can't, it denies you some editing functions when you're creating, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's go ahead and check out what this website looks like. You can go up here to where this little house is, visit site. I always right click and then open a new tab. So this is the site. This is that generic theme that I built. Now, what we want to do is go to appearance. Now, this is where we can go to themes and select a new theme. WordPress has a ton of free themes that I implore you. You can just go in here and activate all the ones you want. These are their basic ones. You gotta search for new ones. Press add new, and then this brings you to WordPress themes right here. And these are all free themes. Everything in here is going to be a free theme unless you go to premium. So you can cruise around here. I actually have a theme that we're going to work on in class that is it's a premier theme. It's something you'd have to buy. You couldn't find in this free section here. But I implore you, just go in here and you can press preview on these things and it will show you what they look like, set up for them. And you can press this X to get out of them. See, like this one, that one looks like a really cool site. Let's look at that one. So it tells you what it's all about here. It's got like this drag and drop. It's got good previews. It's got video background, slideshows. It shows you a demo of the site right here. So just check it out, like cruise around and figure out what you like in these themes. But when you want to install one, go ahead and press install. So like let's find a good one here so I can install it. See which one looks really nice and light. See this customizer. Let's go ahead and install this one. See what it looks like. See, this platform set up so you can have a bunch of themes to switch between them. You have to actually, activate the one that you want as your theme. So I can choose more of these, and but you're only allowed to activate one of them. So now let's check out my website and see what it is. And then it should have the new thing. So you see how it's a new theme, had a nice loader there. It's got these custom sections coming out. There's a blog post, but we don't got no content in it. And that's what I'm going to show you in class, is how to write the content, because there's actually a specific format to building this content. Now let's add a new one, and we're actually doing a project in class for an artist. He's a digital artist, and they got themes for that. So let's go over here and let's check out the latest ones, and see what we can find. The ones we're going to look for are called gallery types. The gallery types are the ones that you would specifically use for artists and graphic artists and stuff like that. And that's what then they have themes specifically built for them. See, some of these are like for companies. Let's see if we can find one. Details and preview. This might be one. Let's preview it. More content in there. See, this would be good because if we had a picture of him, that would be good for the background. Let's cruise out of that. And let's see, it looks like a more flyer, brochure. So there's like a portfolio one right here. So yeah. Here's another one. See these clean galleries right here? This is where we can host all of his artwork at. Now, I actually have one picked out for my class, and I'm actually going to leave a link to it with this video when I post it on YouTube. So let's see this one too. This one looks like it'd be a good one. Well, since we don't have content, it's not going to really show us. So we'd actually have to go see the actual. See, this is a fashion magazine one. It's a live portfolio. See, this would be a good one too. This would be a live portfolio with the pictures. Green Turtle Mag. This would probably be a good one. Yeah, that might be good. We need to get some content in here. But let me keep looking a little more. Here we go. Photo blog. So this would be right up the alley, I'm thinking. If they got a demo, we'll go check it out. Yes, this would be perfect. This would be perfect for our client that we're working for in class. It's really loaded with galleries. So what's it called? Photo Blogster. Let's search for that. See if we can find the theme. Alright. Now that we're on this page, let's see if we can find a preview. So yeah, this is a basic site. If we had a really nice picture for the client here, and then we can add all of his different images and artwork, these different sections, build categories for them, and it lays it out real nice. And then have a section on the bottom below down here where people can check out, or they can actually buy them right here. We can put another button and have them click and buy it. But let's go up here. I'm going to show you how to search for different themes too. And I know we've been hearing the themes for a little bit, but see if we find anything else real quick on at the bottom. Alright, so search themes, let's filter. We want to look for portfolios, photography, and we want custom backgrounds, custom headers, custom logos, change, full width. Alright, apply filters, see what comes up. Alright, so yes, these are the themes that we're looking for. So let's check these out. Clean journal, that looks like it would be a good one. Let's see this one. Yeah, that'd be a real nice one. It's got a real nice header up here. We had some of his artwork displayed. Highly customizable at Wada, speciosa. The best. Yeah. Alright. Well, either way, you guys are going to play around with this. Like I said, go to a word space, create your account, set up your WordPress, click the link to get to your back end. It's going to ask you to go to the front end of your WordPress site. Go to that, and that'll lead you here. Customize section. This lets you customize the actual theme that we have right now. So under appearance, you'll see, and they build these themes, and they give you a lot of stuff, but they have a pro version that unlocks certain features of it, and that's how they make money off of these free themes. You'd wonder why there's like hundreds of thousands of these free themes. It's because they build a basic one, and then the one with the pro features is what they sell, and they go for a lot of money. But you can buy them anywhere from $50 on up to a couple $1,000. But here's where you would go through, and you would add, the logos, general design information. I mean, you just got to step through there and take on each one of these. WordPress kind of builds everything out. Your main content, what you're going to have in your footer of your website down here, all this different stuff. So that's primarily what the customizer does. Let you get in here and add specific details to the site. Now here's your widget section. So let's go ahead and go to that. So okay, the widget section here is based off these boxes here. Different themes will give you different post type sections here, and these sections are where you add your content. So like this one tells you the right sidebar. So whatever you put in here will show you the right sidebar. This will be the footer. This will be the left one. This will be footer widget area 2, footer widget area 3. So what we are going to do is go to one of my paid services, and I'm going to load a theme up in here, and I'm going to let everybody else do this as well, so I have these themes, and I'm going to show you how this actually works. So let's pick a theme that's basic real quick, because in class we're going to be using Studiopress themes. So if you guys want to Google Studiopress and look through those themes, those are the themes I use. I pay $1,000 a year for an account there, so that's the ones we're going to be using. But here, this 2015 or 2016, yeah, let's activate this one. Oh wait, they got the 2017. Where's that 2017 at? Let's activate this one. 2017 is the newest one. These is like the boilerplate themes that come with every WordPress. So now let's go back to the widget section. Since I have 2017 activated, now you see this has changed. You got the blog sidebar, the footer too. So it's not giving us no front page yet, which we'll get into that when we load the Genesis. But let me show you something here. What you want to do is find the custom HTML box, or you can use a text box, and you drag it and you drop it right here. Usually leave the titles blank because the title will show up on the page, but here you can write custom code. So here we can add a div, and we can write an h1 tag, and we could put this is the best website online. Okay, and then I can save that, and this little widget, it's going to be in the footer section. So let's check out the site. Over here I right clicked, so now if I go to the bottom of the site, you will see my code that I just put in there. So basically you drop those widget sections in to the specific areas of the page, or your home page, and you put your code in and you code your site out. And that's where you get into designing your user interfaces and getting more into the design aspects of it, which I'm going to have laid out in class, and I will record it, so you'll have to wait for the next video. But I'm going to show you Studiopress real quick, because this is where I get my themes, and I'm going to show you the themes that we're going to use. These are the themes that we're going to use. I'm thinking for this Gallery Pro right here is probably going to be the best bet for the client. I mean, typically any of these will work, but for the purpose of our client, we want something that's based for a gallery. So let's check out these demos right here. See, this theme right here cost $100. You gotta pay for all these. So, and this is what it would look like. The entire site. You got all kinds of data here. So, I mean, that looks like a decent site. We're gonna use one of these themes, plus we're gonna use we're gonna use WooCommerce for a back end so he can sell his art and images. So what we're going to do is each piece of art is going to have to be turned into a product. So if he wants to hand it over to us afterwards, then we could build it out for him. Ambience Pro. And see, you'll notice a theme based in the themes. Some of them go across the full page. Those are called full width websites. That's kind of the style. And the older style is having things centered with like nice detail in the middle and being margined on the side of the website. That I typically like the full themes like this one right here. And see, this one might be perfect for him. Let's look at this one because we can add some gallery features in the theme for him. So since we have a graphic artist, this would be good. We could put a slider up top, you know, have his basic information, have a form for people to check out and get his stuff, and then instead of these little plans right here, we can actually have his artwork and then a whole section about him. You know, I think this would be a good theme for him. And then we can get some widgets and add a gallery section in here to show off his art and the carousel, make it look real good. And what a lot of people don't realize today too, and I'm going to throw this in there and I've covered in some of my other personal videos that I make for Frontside, is that today, and why using WordPress themes is better, we have to code sites to be responsive. They have to be mobile responsive. So they have to look good on a cell phone, tablet, and a regular computer. And it's a big pain in the ass. These themes that I'm using here are fully responsive. That is the main reason I use them. That's why they're so expensive. So let's get out of that. But let's go ahead and go back to this site. Like I said, we'll load up the theme and everything in the next video. I just want to show you around. You guys get in here, play around. Let me warn you of one thing. This editor section here, this is where all the code is for the site. These are all PHP files. Now, if we were to write out a full WordPress theme in class, we'd have to write out every one of these classes. This right here is just the CSS file, style sheet for the entire project. So you'd have to have this entire project laid out, this style sheet. Then you'd have to build theme functions, because that's how WordPress is built. It's got the boilerplate up here, and then you got all the functions, PHP, to post thumbnails, featured images. I mean, you got everything up here. Your footer, your home page. This is the PHP for it. So this is all code we'd have to write in class, and that's why we're going over this, because writing this stuff out is complex. It's already written out. And when it comes to building WordPress themes, a lot of the boilerplate stuff, like these pages, they have it set up just blank WordPress themes where you can go and you can start coding in your own PHP and CSS and theme out your own site. But yeah, stay away from this area because if you change anything, it's direct on your host. and that means you'd have to go back into your hosting account, your free hosting account, and go into your files and fix the actual error that you made inside one of these documents. And once you click off this page, you're never going to get back to it because the server is going to give you a message saying that the site's down. So do not change anything. Even if I took that little colon there away, you'd be done. The whole site would be down. So just stay out of the editor section. That includes the plugins. Now plugins are cool too. I advise you to go add a new plugin and see, just browse around and type stuff in, see what comes up. These plugins are all kinds of different cool stuff. This is BuddyPress to make a site, like a social media site. Let's put in Google. Show you some cool stuff. You got Google Analytics dashboards, you got map sections. Let's put galleries in here. Galleries. And these are all plugins. You know, and people go plugin crazy a lot because the more plugins you add, the slower your site's going to be. Just put it to you that way. You got a lot of code to load. So you got like artist gallery here, and you got image photo galleries. All you got to do is install this, and we can have this whole section like you see right here on the front end of our site. And all I got to do is install that. So you know, and you usually tell how good a plugin is based on how many installs it has, like I have highlighted here, and how long it's been updated. And it'll check to see if it's compatible, because if a lot of these plugins, some people just leave in there and they're not been updated in a couple years, then you don't want to use it because it's not current technology. But yeah, there's all kinds of galleries here. There's a Flickr gallery. I'm sure they have one for Instagram. Let's type in Instagram, because that's where our model client for class is right now. So yeah, we can actually load his feed directly into the website with this plugin right here. So we can take his feed, his direct feed, load it straight into the front page of his website and distribute it and put it however we want. We put a gallery in there, do everything. We can sell his products with WooCommerce. This is a plugin section. I didn't go in there. Just type in Woo. So it's using Ajax API, so correlates that text. It's asynchronous. So this is all the stuff we can plug in there to make products, take payments, and sell things from our WordPress installation. So everything's built for you, either in a plugin or a theme. But developing, it still takes time. I mean, if you WordPress develop for clients, I've sold WordPress sites for $15,000. I've actually sold one that was a partnered deal, and a lot of it was coded in, and we did a lot of custom stuff with the databases. But I mean, I charged $30,000 for a website. So I mean, that was a few years ago, but still, you can sell these WordPress sites to clients and businesses because you have to know how to code. You got to know how to PHP, because sometimes you have to go into this editor. You have to add new functions. You have to add certain things to make things go, and then you have to make sure everything runs smooth, is optimized. In order to do that, you got to know how to code it right. You got to know how to take things out. You got to know how to distribute your links and your style sheets and all your PHP correctly. So it's yeah, it's a lot of work. So it's definitely worth getting paid a few grand for, because I mean, it's not an easy thing if you're serious about having a real business. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show everybody how you can go set up free WordPress installation, completely free. Like I said, don't worry about the URL. If you know anything about keywords, if you use the right keywords in here, then you have a good URL. As far as the client, the prospect we're using in class, I mean, pretty much we just use his name right there, then that would be a good instance of that. So go to a WordSpace, get your free site, get your free domain, set up a WordPress installation. If you have any problems, come back to this video and look, or just Google online for how to set up a WordSpace, and it'll show you. And Then we will meet in class and finish making the video, and we'll set this thing up, and we will get this this site built out in just an hour. And the guy will have a fully functional site to sell his artwork in. And this we are donating to him as students from our school at HCC. So other than that, you guys take it easy, and we'll talk to you later.